The following is a paid message from Rebuild SoCal Partnership. Sponsor has no editorial oversight.
Los Angeles County Supervisor Lindsey Horvath has spent much of the past 7 months helping the areas of her district that were devastated by the January wildfires. She has met with residents, coordinated public and private resources, and helped to open schools and businesses. Horvath recently met in the Palisades with Jon Switalski of Rebuild SoCal Partnership to talk about what still needs to be done and about how reforming government can accelerate fire recovery.
So the Palisades fire was called that because it broke out in the Palisades, but it impacted so much more. Basically from here, as far as the eye can see, and all the way down through Malibu, they've all been impacted in different ways. And that's why coming together at scale to help in the rebuild process is going to be so critical.
This is just utter devastation. When you first heard that the fires broke out, what came to mind?
I was actually at our Board of Supervisors meeting. We left the meeting and raced over to be on site with community members. We saw how it was spreading and knew that it was going to go beyond the Palisades community. And my heart was in my stomach, and knowing the conditions that had been predicted. And I was worried for the people who had to show up and protect people. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced before in my life.
You must have known many people who have been affected, lost their homes, lost their businesses. What has that been like?
It is absolutely devastating to hear the number of stories, the magnitude of impact that people have felt as a result of this fire, the emotional and mental toll that it takes. I remember when we had our very first town hall meeting, there was a family from Malibu, a mother, a father, and 2 daughters who came and talked to me afterwards. And their family sort of crystallized for me the range of experience that so many people were feeling and thinking through. And I knew that my team had to show up thinking about all of those things for each and every family that was impacted. We led at the county level in partnership, locally, state and federal, on the debris removal process. And our partners with FEMA and Army Corps of Engineers have been extraordinary. This has been the fastest debris removal process in history. But we know that despite the success of that, until people are home, until people are back in their communities, they have their schools and their places of worship, their grocery stores and all of that, our work is not done.
Since the wildfires, what have you seen take place here in this community?
We saw people who lost their homes still showing up to volunteer for other people who lost their homes. And that spirit of togetherness, I think, is really what got people through that immediate tragic time. It's what's given us hope that we will be able to come back together as a community. And long term, we know that we have to create a recovery and rebuild process that makes sense, that is streamlined, that is affordable, that gets people back into their homes and their neighborhoods as quickly as possible.
We're now here at a cleaned up site. When you see this, what goes through your mind?
I'm just so grateful for the people who have done this work in record speed to give people hope that they can come back into their communities. That means grocery stores and schools. It means places of worship and community centers. And so we can't do that without skilled, trained labor, and we have very important signs of progress at this stage.
There have been many academics that have weighed in to suggest that it's tough to build big projects in California, and really there's too many vetoes along the way, and it almost makes it impossible in many cases.
You know, there's the city, there's the county, there's the state, and all coming with different regulation. So what we have been proposing is creating a rebuilding authority for the entire region. We want to be able to purchase materials at scale to help drive down the cost. We want labor to be at the table because we are setting standards for safety and healthy work environments, but also making sure that we are creating good paying jobs, that we are using the expertise of the industry to inform this rebuild. So we do so quickly, safely, and with all of the experts' best practices in mind.
We see in times of crises that the infrastructure is so interrelated. Roads and evacuation routes, water systems. What have you learned from the lessons of the fire that you would put forward in investing more into infrastructure.
We need to make sure that we're undergrounding utility equipment. We've seen how that has been a contributor to some of the devastation that we have seen. One of the things that I did as chair of the Board of Supervisors is do a countywide look at our water systems infrastructure. And we need to be addressing our water systems and that we're investing in the kind of infrastructure that we need for safe, clean drinking water, for water to fight fires, for everything that we need in our future.
What is it like to bear that burden in a time where your constituents really need you to be many things, a policy leader, but they also just need you to be a human being they can rely on?
So I just try to show up for people in the way that I hope somebody would show up for my family in a time of emergency. But we also have to learn about how can we be building better, what things helped us move quickly and at scale, and what helps us be able to build the housing that we need for our region, because I'm also thinking about what is this community going to look like for our future generations? So always thinking about doing everything that we can to get obstacles out of their way so they can do what they need to do for their families.
Thank you for your leadership, and thanks for offering such critical thought on how to approach the communities and approach not only the cleanup, but of course the rebuild.
And thank you for everything that you're doing. I know your partnership really means the world to us. We really appreciate you.